Hey there, Aries. Welcome to reading for the week of April 8th. We're going to jump right in here, Aries, and see what is going on for you. You have this Go the Distance card and this Thinker card. I think you're thinking about leveling up. It's funny because every single reading I do for you, I'm always saying, like, you should raise your prices, right? If you have a business or something. And, I really feel it's just Aries leveling up, going the distance, seeing something through all the way to the end. Or it's not even really about that. I think that it's about, kind of accomplishing something that's maybe hard or a challenge for you, and doing that, not only it'll make you feel really good, but it will also probably lead to a lot of success. So that's what I would be doing here if I were you. It's like, kind of, if there's something that you want to accomplish, just really going for it, giving it 110%. You even have this Royal U card. You have the Star. The Royal U card is kind of like a glow up card. The Star, same thing. But you start off with the Strength card, the Six of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. I'm kind of getting an energy. I don't think you are going to give up, or I don't feel that energy from you, right? But I do feel this is saying, like, don't stop now. If you were to stop doing something now, I think you would be stopping very close to the goal. So I kind of get that feeling off of that Strength card. The Strength card, she has been doing this for a very long period of time. The story of the Strength card is that she has her hands in this lion's mouth, and she is taming that lion. That lion, its tail is between its legs, and so the lion is submitting to her. But this is something, again, that she's been doing for a long time. And I really feel that the reading itself is saying that you've been doing something, like working on yourself or perfecting something for a long time. And it's basically just saying, don't give up now, like when you're right at the finish line. We see so many things that would kind of represent being at a finish line. This Go the Distance card. We have the Star here. You even have the Spiral card at the end, which I'll show you in a minute, but it can represent, kind of a round situation, but it's coming up in the good stuff. So it'd say it's the end. You have the World, the Ace of Swords, the Six of Swords as well, moving on to calmer shores. So things are about to improve, Aries, and I feel that this is saying, like, definitely, keep pushing with this energy is what I would say to you. Six of Swords about moving on to calmer shores, so I definitely feel there are improvements coming in for you. I feel there are little things that are happening here and there that really make you feel like things are going more in your favor, or like the universe is more on your side. You have the Knight of Wands, which is a card of being spontaneous, and it's a card of moving in new directions, going on adventures. I would encourage you to do all that with the Knight of Wands. Especially because you are a fire sign, but the Knight of Wands really represents adventuring, or going on some sort of adventure, and that's kind of what I pick up there. And this adventure could just be you doing something new. You and Taurus always get these cards of going on an adventure. With the Strength card, you have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is a card of expansion and growth. I feel for a lot of you that you could be expanding and growing at this time. I feel like there's more that you want to do. He has those boats on the water there, and he needs to get on those boats because they're pointing out. They kind of are going somewhere maybe he's never been before, and he needs to go on the adventure. So I definitely feel the first row here is kind of saying, there's an adventure that you could go on. I feel like this is the adventure of growth, or an adventure towards the ability to grow or find abundance, something like that. With the Six of Swords, you have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is fortune after difficulty, so it can represent happy home, happy family. Definitely really good for love. And you have the Ace of Cups here as well, so if you want a connection, there definitely could be a solid connection, someone that you will have a family with coming in for you. The Ten of Cups is also just a card of fortune after difficulty, and obviously with the Six of Swords, it kind of makes me lean more towards fortune after difficulty. Six of Swords, again, they're in the choppy waters, they're going to calmer shores. Ten of Cups, fortune after difficulty. I kind of feel this is just saying you're getting to a good place, or whatever you want to call it. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Ten of Swords. Yeah, definitely leaving things behind as well. Ten of Swords, it's an eclipse. Wouldn't really surprise me. And the eclipse is in your sign. So, and that will be happening on Monday, on the 8th. So, again, for a lot of you, you could be cutting something out of your life or removing something. Sometimes, I think some astrologers look at eclipses, especially like a solar eclipse like we're having in your sign, it's kind of like like sacrificial lamb type of energy where, some astrologers will say that we do usually make a sacrifice during an eclipse, letting go of something, releasing something that no longer serves us, or, moving on from something so that we can have something better. So it wouldn't really surprise me if you were, kind of sacrificing something or cutting something out of your life. Doesn't even have to be that big of a deal. Could be something small, but, could be beneficial. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this brown bear spirit says, take time out. You have this elephant, it says, learn from the past. I think you have done a lot of learning from the past, and I think you have been doing a lot of learning from the mistakes that you've made. The other interesting thing I'm getting here is that I think you've been doing a lot of learning from other people's pasts as well. You could be making a lot of connections. Like, what's popping into my head is that you could be making a lot of connections with people that you're close with. I mean, not like connections, but you're looking at their lives. This could be family members, friends, people you grew up with. And, I think it's people that you've known for a long period of time. And I almost see you like looking at their lives. You're not like judging them or something like that, but I think you're looking at their lives and you're saying like, oh, these are, patterns that they repeat. And it's almost like you're seeing the reflection. You're seeing like, oh, I do this too. And you're making these changes. I don't know. It feels pretty deep to me, Aries. Like, I feel like you could be doing some, deep introspective work here, or just deep work on yourself. Like, you're saying, I don't want to repeat these cycles, or I don't want to have these cycles in my own life. And again, you're not doing this like judging people or anything. I think you're just avoiding the cycle, or you're just, saying like, oh, that's a bad habit I don't want to have. But it doesn't even have to be bad things. I think it's like everything. And the Strength card is, again, a deep personal work. She has to tame that inner beast, that lion that's on that card. She has to do that every single day. You have the Queen of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. Again, the two queens here really also kind of make me believe that you're a little bit more focused on yourself, which is probably a good thing. Again, the Queen of Cups, she's looking at that cup, and that cup, it looks like a trophy. I always say it doesn't really look like a cup. And she is, to me, the Queen of Cups really values her heart. She really listens to her heart, but she also really listens to her inner voice, what her inner voice is guiding her to do. So again, I think that you are doing a lot more work on, kind of like listening to that inner voice, what your inner voice is telling you to do. And again, with the Ace of Cups, it would pretty much say that is a good idea. The Ace of Cups, yeah, it could be love. So could the Queen of Cups and the Ten of Cups here. But the Ace of Cups is anything that causes your emotions to overflow. It's, basically happiness. And that cup overflows, and it overflows on its own. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be like discovering new opportunities, or, new energies that cause you to overflow. Could even be new habits that you're developing, or new ideas, whatever it is, doesn't really matter. But, I think that all those things would be good for you. You have the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles, of course, is a card of resourcefulness. She's focusing on the pentacle right here. She's not focusing on the rabbit right here. It kind of says that she is focusing on what she has. She's not focusing on fears and anxiety and all that other stuff, which the rabbit can represent. The other thing is, I say it all the time, I think that by the time we get to the end of the decade-ish, kind of like, let's say 2033, I think that there are going to be a lot of people who kind of look back on the 10 years, since like 2020, since 2023, if I can talk today, and they're going to say like, wow, all I did was worry. And I could have done so much more. So I always I warn people about this, because I'm like, don't be one of those people that just worries. Like, yes, there are going to be a lot more things to worry about, trust me. But, what I would say is that unless you have direct control over it, or unless you can do something about it, it's not worth worrying about. And not only that, I think that we're in a time where we need to be the ones that build the better ideas anyway, not the government. So, if you have good ideas for the world, start working on them, and you'll have something done before we get to the end of the 10 years. It's like everybody else might just be worrying. So, there's no sense in worrying, and focus on what you do have. The Queen of Pentacles, she represents focusing on what you do have. With the Queen of Cups, you have the King of Wands. Yep, you. You showing up in a very strong position here. I mean, King of Wands is Aries, and you're showing up in a strong position. The King of Wands is the visionary, and we do see a lot of pretty good visionary energy in the reading. I mean, Star, Ace of Swords, really good cards for, more future thinking type of energy. And that's, we're going to keep clarifying, so there might be more. But, so far, those are two good cards for being a visionary. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Magician. If you want love, you can have it. I feel that, again, I wouldn't really call this a love reading, but I do feel love here. So if you want it, I feel you could be attracting a person very quickly. I feel you could be attracting a magician type person as well, someone who has hidden talents, gifts, skills, and abilities, someone who kind of is able to create things very quickly in their lives, or, I don't know, just strikes me as a person who kind of is able to change their circumstances very quickly. So that's kind of the energy I get here with the magician. Something about that. And with the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Five of Pentacles. Yes, do not call attention to your weaknesses. Again, she is focusing on her strength. She is focusing on what she does have. On the Queen of Pentacles, she's not focusing on what she doesn't have. These two people are focusing on what they don't have. So, again, yes, there might be things that you need that you don't have, but you have to find a way to do things anyway. Break things down to the tiniest little piece and start there. I mean, that's literally the remedy for the next 20 years, not even 10 years. So that's what I would do with the Five of Pentacles. Next, you have this Royal You card and this Tender Embrace card. Again, I think you could be glowing at this time. You even have the Empress here at the bottom of your clarifying deck. So, again, that Royal You card is kind of like the Empress. The Tender Embrace card is, someone embracing you. So I do feel that some of you could be attracting a person who is like a tender lover or whatever you want to call it. I do feel there's a little bit of glow up energy here. You have a star next to the world, which, the star next to the world would represent standing out in the world or getting the attention you deserve in the world. So I feel a lot of you could be getting a lot more attention. Again, we're in a time of attention. I encourage everyone to get as much attention as they possibly can. And of course, we're talking about positive attention here. We're not talking about negative attention. So we want to make sure that the attention we're getting is, positive, obviously. And we want to get attention on positive things. And so that's what I'd be creating here. I also feel Mercury retrograde, great time for resting, relaxing, recovering with the star card. So anything you can do to heal would be a good idea. You have the Five of Wands. The interesting thing is that we have the Magician pointing to the Five of Wands and then to the Ace of Swords. So this would be a victory over competition with the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is winning. The Ace of Swords is success or victory. So, I don't know, are you attracting competition? No, I don't think that's what this reading is saying. I think it's saying that you're attracting something, that you are getting something that there is competition for. This could be love, because we go this way down to the King of Pentacles. So you could be attracting a person who gets a lot of attention. King of Pentacles, a love for love, by the way. So if you're attracting an earth sign, or it could just be a person with earth in their chart. The King of Pentacles is someone serious, someone who wants something long-term. The Five of Wands is, like I said, conflict and competition, but you could be attracting something into your life that there is conflict and competition for, but it looks like you're going to be winning. This could be a position as well, or, like a business that you're making successful or whatever. The Nine of Cups is a card of wish fulfillment, but the Nine of Cups is really a card of being in alignment with the thing that you want. So he is in perfect alignment with what he wants in life, and I feel that being in alignment with what you want is what the Nine of Cups is encouraging you to do. We have to match energy with the Nine of Cups. We have to match energy of the thing that we want to get the Nine of Cups, and I feel like that's what the Nine of Cups is basically saying. With the Star card, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, if you want love, it definitely could be an earth sign or someone with a lot of earth in their chart or something. But what I would say is, again, this looks like slow movement to me. Some of you could be taking your time, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, again, Mercury retrograde, perfectly fine. Perfect time to move slowly in, this month during a relationship. I think I encourage people to date during retrogrades. Who cares? And, if you're the universe is not going to prevent you from being with someone that you're meant to be with because it's a Mercury retrograde. The universe isn't going to be like, oh, nope, can't be together, even though this is a soulmate because it's a Mercury retrograde. We can't let that happen. It's that's not how it works. So, I always tell people, date if you meet a person, who cares? And if it doesn't work out, it wasn't meant to work out anyway. And the beauty of a Mercury retrograde is that you're going to get it over and done with quickly. So if it wasn't meant to work, instead of wasting 6 months of your life on something, it'll be over, either before or right after the Mercury retrograde, and you won't have wasted a bunch of time. You won't have developed attachments and all that other BS, and you can learn the lesson faster as well. So go for it. But, again, you could be communicating or just starting slow with the person. With the Five of Wands, you have the Eight of Pentacles. It's I feel like the weird thing is I feel like some of you are cleaning up some work is what I'm hearing, which is weird. The Eight of Pentacles in reverse, for example, can represent sloppy work. And I'm not saying you did sloppy work, but I do feel that some of you, I get this feeling that some of you maybe are revisiting some work that you've done, or you're cleaning up the work that you've done. And again, this is not a bad thing. I think that, maybe you're putting something out into the world and you are perfecting it over time. You are kind of, kind of like working on it over time. And I'm a big fan of this, right? I'm sure you've all seen me do this where like I'll launch things that haven't even started yet, right? And then I work on them over time, and I always make them significantly better. As everyone who's taken one of my courses will tell you, I make them significantly better over time and pack them full of value. But it's like one of my favorite ways to do it, because it's like I can mold it over time and I can make it better over time. So, I kind of feel that's what some of you are doing. It's like you could be doing something where over time you're making it better and better and better, and constantly increasing its value, which I love. So, that looks good. This could be work that you've already done. I also feel that, Eight of Pentacles is material success on the horizon. So it does say that you could be getting, paid for work that you've done in the past. And I do feel that for some of you. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Page of Pentacles. There's definitely someone new. This person definitely has Earth in their chart, right? 3 right there. Even the World card can represent Capricorn. It could be any sign, of course. This is a general reading. But I feel like this is going to start as communication with that Page of Pentacles. It seems like a lot of people are doing this nowadays, just talking first, which, again, I think that's perfectly fine. You have this Justice card in the area of the good stuff in this spiral. So I feel like you are ending a negative cycle. I also feel like you're bringing more balance into your life with the Justice card. It's like you're evening things out, or, I really feel this is more of that perfecting message, right? It's like nothing is perfect, and I actually think perfection is the enemy of progress, of course, but, I think that there's a difference between, like, getting started and trying to perfect something and just not getting started, right? So most people who try to be perfect just never get started, right? But if you perfect something over time, then you're not trying to be perfect necessarily, you're just improving something. And, I kind of get that more of that energy here at the end, where it's like you could be improving something over time. For some of you, I actually feel like it's your image, your image in the world, how you present yourself, all that other good stuff. Almost a couple of years ago now, you had Jupiter in your sign. And, Jupiter was in your first house, it's moving into Gemini now. And what I would say is that even though Jupiter is not in your third house, it doesn't matter. When a planet leaves a sign, it's not like a light switch. We don't just stop working with the energy. The whole point of astrology is that a planet goes through your sign and then or whatever, wherever it is in your chart, and you learn the lesson, and then you continue to apply it. Astrology isn't just like on off where you just stop. And so again, I think you've learned the lessons of having, Jupiter is only in your sign every 12 years. So, I think you've learned the lessons, and I feel like now, even though it's a couple years after it was in your sign, again, you could be doing more things to change your image, but for the better with this energy here. So definitely popping into my head. And again, solar eclipse in your sign as well. I mean, kind of makes sense. You have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is a victory. So I do feel like there could be a victory coming in for you. Again, a sacrifice. The Ace of Swords does represent a sacrifice. There's a palm frond right here, and there's an olive branch over here. The palm fronds in the tarot represent a sacrifice. They can represent a sacrifice. Olive branch can represent an offer of peace or abundance. And again, I always say that the Ace of Swords cuts both ways. You can be cutting something out while accepting something new in your life with the Ace of Swords. So, there's probably some sort of victory after some sort of sacrifice you've made. Now you have the King of Pentacles. I totally forgot that you have the King and Queen of Pentacles, so you have divine counterparts right here. And, the King and the Queen of Pentacles together are great for love. They're two people who really want to work on something permanent. They want something permanent. They want something long-term. So that looks amazing. With the World, you have the Three Cups. Yep, being celebrated. I feel like people are celebrating you. It's kind of funny what's popping into my head as well. I think there are going to be a lot of people that were like, oh, I always knew that you would do this. I always knew that would happen. It's like, yeah, BS, right? So it's like you might have a lot of those people in your life who like never supported you that were like, oh, I always knew this was going to happen. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Wheel of Fortune. We see 3 cycle cards in a row here. The Spiral, the World, and the Wheel of Fortune. We could look at these all as portal cards as well. And I believe we're in a time where we're all being asked to cross through a portal. We are being asked to leave the old world behind and to step into a new world, which is hopefully better or could be better. And so I would don't be afraid to, step into that new world or, that world where you're going to build something great. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Temperance card. Temperance is patience. I feel like you have been very patient, and Temperance is about turning one thing into another. I do feel here, with all these Pentacle cards, that the universe is asking you to improve your financial situation. It's like saying, hey, there's going to be a lot of ways, or there are ways that you can improve your finances. So make sure to do that. Make sure to do what you can to improve your finances or to improve your situation. You have this fair woman card, says dealings with relationships with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. I always clarify these people cards. You have this mice card, says discord among family or friends. I will say that fire signs, there could definitely be having certain issues with certain family members. I would either, I don't think we have to cut anyone out or anything like that, right? I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, you just have to cut these people out of your life. I think that we can just set boundaries if we can. Maybe you do have to cut them out for a certain period of time, but I would be careful of anyone who is too toxic, or who causes problems. You have this dog, it says protection from a powerful friend, so I feel like you are protected. The weird thing is you have this cat card, it says a two-faced friend. It's weird. I do feel like some of you might be dealing with a person who, it's like they come off as they're trying to protect you, but they are really just don't want you to be around anyone else. And I feel like there's another person who's trying to protect you. So it's almost like there are two people. I think you need to pay attention to, true loyalty, who is truly loyal to you and who is not if you're dealing with this. You do have this happiness card. I feel like you are going to be very happy. I just think, again, things are not perfect, Aries, I would say for you, but I do think you just feel like things are working out a little bit better. I feel like I said this to you recently, but I just get that feeling of, I know it's kind of like a lame message, but, I just get that feeling of things just a little bit more going your way. You try to do something, it works out a little bit better. You try to improve your life, it improves your life. It actually works for once, right? It's like things just seem to be going a little bit better, and, that's kind of the energy I get here. You have this old man card, says dealings with relationships with an older man. You have this money path card. It says a path with money is waiting for you to find it. I do feel some of you could be meeting a person. It doesn't have to be a man. It could be whatever gender you're into. And it could be someone who's very mature. And literally this person being in your life could improve your life. Sometimes I feel that when we are with the right person, things do naturally improve. It's like, obviously, if you're with a supportive person and you're both supporting each other, lifting each other up, then obviously both your lives are going to improve. So there you go. I also feel if you have a mentor or someone you look up to, you could be learning from this person, and it could be very helpful. Yeah, you have this love card as well. I knew that there was something about love in this reading, so that looks good as well. But this is a really good reading. I kind of feel a little bit of glow up here with that Royal You card. Really, I feel it's asking you to improve your finances and go all the way, right? So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.